do what?
What's the next step?
Cut the
Cut the pattern. Cut the, it's actually the side view. So we'll cut the side view out. Scissors again are in the tool panel. Try to do an accurate job on that because you're going to use this to basically put the lines on the top. Okay, that should fit on there. By golly, it does. Okay, and you can take masking tape and tape this on, but I'm just going to very carefully trace around this. Get it centered. If it's off just a little bit, center the pattern so it's symmetrical, and go ahead and just in pencil trace around that shape.
What would happen, Mr. Deason, if it was off center?
Well, it'd be off a little bit. You know, if it was off center, like some of yours, if you did some of you might have taken more off than I did on the belt sander, so it could be like, this could be almost an 1/8 of an inch too long. So if that's the case, just put a 1/16 on each side, so it's centered. This one actually is, if you look at mine, it's a little bit long too. See that? See? So I just split the difference and centered it. Okay? You should do both sides. Now, in order to get this symmetrical, I should probably put that on like that. Okay, this is on this side now. It's on that side there. It shouldn't matter really. And when I glued my top on, if you notice, the grain kind of follows the contour of my pattern. And of course that's burned a little bit, so it's a little bit hard to see. Now, last year when we made these, we made them out of fairly soft wood. And what we did basically is went over to the belt sander and just sanded that part off. Okay, we'll have to see if that's going to work well for us. Okay, next step is to draw this line right here where it separates the top and the bottom. Okay. So you want to have it, wow, that's different. Mine's totally backwards, but they're showing a cut there, and then a finger there, and then a cut there, and then a finger right there. So basically they want you do it at the same spot. Okay, my fingers and cuts are a little bit different, but so just take a steel rule and it goes right on top of that finger. Okay, draw that line right even with the top of that finger all the way around. Make sure your pencil's sharp. Do this accurately. Some of you guys are wondering what we're going to be doing for our next project. Our next project is going to be, you're going to research a plan of something that you want to make, and you're going to be able to pick what you're going to make.
And no, it's not a pen, a bottle stopper, or a school bus.
It has to be something of skill level that would be that would merit construction 2. In other words, you can't pick something that you made in construction 1 and make that again. Okay? Okay, I got my line all the way around. Now we go over to the bandsaw to cut it. So come on, bring your glasses.
Whoops, sorry.
We made 20 pens. I think I can count the one.
Glasses.
Boy, that's awful loose.
Yeah.
It's going to get caught again. Don't do that. Last time I did this, I smashed my little finger.
Yeah, that one's probably oil it a little bit.
Okay, so first thing I want to do, guys, is go ahead and open up the throat here so I can get the box through. Okay, turn this on. Zero it. Oh,
Yeah.
put it. We want to put it on this way because this tilts up and down this way.
Right.
But here, I'll put it like
Now
this.
you can zero it. No, now it's 0.
Okay, it's at 0. So now we go ahead and put it on the blade.
And it says
Should say 90.
90 perfectly.
So and this goes down to 1/10 of a degree. So it says 90.0, right?
Yes.
So it's perfect. We don't have to change anything. Okay?
So, Mr. Deason, there was a question. Why are you using the black bandsaw compared to the Riken?
This has got a little bit smaller blade and it'll cut a little bit thinner kerf. The kerf, the slot that the blade cuts, is a little bit thinner on this one. And so I would use this one rather than that one. Okay? All right? Okay, so we got it set up here. Basically on this, I'm going to try to cut right down the middle of the line, which is unusual. Well, actually, I'm going to cut just on that side of the line because I want the top of that tenon to be right on the edge of the cut. It doesn't really matter which way you do it as long as you stay consistent throughout the cut. So I'm going to cut so that the line is showing just a little bit on this side. Either way, it's going to make one of the fingers a little bit smaller. Now you notice I was cutting through a lot of wood and then all of a sudden it jerked forward. And that's because now I'm only cutting on the front and the back.
It's going to do the same thing when you get to the end. You guys have all felt that when you get through a thick part, all of a sudden it jerks on you when you finish it.
So here it's pretty hard to go through. Make sure your fingers are out of the way of where the blade's going to come through.
Yeah, baby.
I get a lot of students that they're real worried about this step, about cutting a nice straight line, and it's really not that hard to do. You should have enough experience with the bandsaw. Should be able to control that. A lot of people want to use a fence, and this is the only way to do it. Is just watch it, okay? And you can still see the line right along the front edge here, and looks good, okay? Next step is to go ahead and make this curve on this top piece. So we're going to go back to the belt sander for that. You want to turn on the dust collector again. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the bandsaw marks here, but I don't want to take too much off. I'm just going to smooth it up just a little bit because the bandsaw does leave a fairly rough surface there.
I don't know, it got dinged in and now the suction is so great that it sucks it in too. It still works alright.
I got it all the way around. So now we want to go ahead and take off. We want to go ahead and take off this excess wood around the top.
He wants to know, would it be easier to hold that if you sanded it before cutting it in half?
Probably. Now guys, you notice that I'm going in there and I'm going a little bit on this side like this, and then I'm flipping it over and I'm trying to make sure that it's even all the way across. So do a little bit on one side here and then flip it over, and then that's why we put the line on both sides, okay? But you basically just keep going down until you get down to the line. We still got a little bit of ways to go. And then you basically hand sand everything, okay? And then I'll show you how to put the hinges on next time. Okay, questions? Okay, let's go to work.